Hello and welcome to Rosberry Crafts, my YouTube channel where I share all my crafty adventures. Today is April 5th, 2024, and this is episode 93. I'd like to say welcome to any new viewers and welcome back to all you returning viewers. I love that you're back here again. Today for you, I should introduce myself first. My name is Roz and I live in Lake Country, British Columbia, Canada, with my husband and my two kids who are 14 and 12. And we have a big episode coming up, our 100th episode. Not the 100th video, but the 100th episode. And my husband is going to come on and I'd love your questions for him. There is a link in the description bar below that links to a Google form. You can enter them there. You can put them in the comments. You can send me an email. My email address is also down below. And down below is also links to my Instagram, my Ravelry group, my Discord server, none of which are super active. But if you want to get a hold of me, there are a multitude of ways of getting a hold of me, as well as a link to my Ko-fi page. And if you would like to donate to the podcast, I would be most appreciative. Today for you, I have what am I wearing, finished objects, works in progress, stash, and some chatter. Let's get started, shall we? What am I wearing? In typical spring weather around here in Canada in general, we go from winter to spring to winter to spring for about 6 weeks. So today is a more winter-like day. So I'm wearing a store-bought sweater, but I'm also wearing my Apex shawl. Apex is a shawl designed by Knox Mountain Knit Co. And they are semi-local to me, sort of. There's a pair of ladies that design these patterns, and one of them lives pretty close to me, and the other one lives in Vancouver, but she used to live here. So I consider them locally, and they're friends of mine. So hi, Willow and Sasha. I'm sure you're not watching, but if you are, hi. The yarn is Gauge Dye Works in her MCN figuring self-striping base. Move my hair so you can see a little bit more. And so this is, the MCN is a merino cashmere nylon base. It holds up well. I knit this at the end of 2017, finished it in early 2018. And it is just beautiful. The stitch definition is nice, but it's soft. It is so cozy. It drapes so nicely. And this was a yarn that was actually designed for this shawl, or the shawl was designed for the yarn. It was kind of a combo, bit of both. So yeah, it starts off, I don't want to move my microphone too much, but it starts off with these lovely lighter greens going into these more aqua colors and ending with this beautiful lace pattern in the gray. And yeah, the color changing yarn, so you don't have to do anything but knit the shawl, and it does it all for you at the right moments. So lovely, lovely project to work on. Bit of a funny story. This was an exclusive colorway that was at the 2017 Knit City Vancouver, back when they only had the one location that they did Knit City. And Gauge Dye Works had this as an exclusive color. I asked one of the ladies that designed the shawl if she could get this color from me. It turned out that it was a thing you had to line up for. She got her sister-in-law, because she was working her booth, to go and line up for me and buy it for me. And I love this shawl. I am so appreciative that even though I couldn't go to Knit City that year, that somebody was able to get this yarn for me, because it is beautiful and I love it. I love it. And Knox Mountain is a mountain locally here. It's like in the heart of Kelowna. And yeah, so they use, for the shawl design, they use local elements as inspiration. And then this is called the Knox Fade, this colorway, and it is based off of the colors you see on Knox Mountain. So that's enough rambling for what am I wearing. Oh, and I'm also wearing, I'm also wearing my Tits Up socks, which is a pattern by Nancy Wheeler, and she just came out with her latest sock design called Titty Gaga, and I will link to the Tits Up and the Titty Gaga patterns down below. And it just came out, I don't know when you're watching this, but it came out today, April 5th. And for the first, I think it's week or maybe 10 days of sales, all the proceeds go to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. So if you're interested in a very fun sock pattern and donating to a worthy cause, make sure you pick up those socks. I purchased my copy today, so you will be seeing that in the future. Back to regular programming, let's move on to finished objects. My first finished object today is my Musselburgh hat. I have not blocked it. I just put it in the gift bin and I'll block it some other time. Haven't gotten there yet. But yeah, this is a double thick hat and I ran out of the regular color, so I used a bit of scraps in a similar weight. This pattern is called Musselburgh and it's by Sol de Tigre. And it basically, you're gonna take this hat and fold it up on the inside. So there it is. Because it's the same inside and out, then I can just have that extra purple yarn on the inside and you don't see it. You get 4 layers of fabric over your ears, so it's super cold, super warm for the super cold winters, and I love it. The yarn is Yarn Love Joan of Arc in the colorway Shipwreck, which is why I'm calling this my Shipwreck Musselburgh, because I've made a lot of them and I need to differentiate which ones are which. This will go in my donate to a head that it fits at some point bin, probably not till next winter, but either locally I will find somebody deserving a hat, or I will send it off to a place, you know, like a homeless shelter or something that's looking for hats. Let's fix that. Yeah. So that is finished. I mean, I was almost finished last week, so it's no surprise that I finished this. I do love the difference in pooling and that it turned out striping at the end. I love it. What else do I want to say about this? I think that's it. We'll move on to my next finished object. My other finished object, you may have guessed, is my Choose Your Own Adventure shawl. So this is Choose Your Own Adventure Mystery Knit Along, and it's from the Northern Knits podcast. It's under Jocelyn's name, but it is designed by Jocelyn and Diana. Basically, you answered questions, each clue, to figure out whether you were more like Jocelyn or more like Diana, and then you knit a clue based on that information. The yarn that I used for this is Fireweed Fiber Co. in her Sweet Pea sock. This was a 6 skein set that I got called Dreams of Winter Light. And look at this, you guys. Okay, so it's a fade. I've blocked it. I've woven in all my ends. It is ready to be worn. I love, love, love how this turned out. So I pinned, when I blocked it, I pinned each end. They look a little pointy right now, but they will kind of relax a little bit over time. But yeah, love it, love it, love it. It is so, so big. But I love all the colors, the dark, the light, everything just beautiful. I can't even capture each of the, did I be showing you the back side? No, I don't think so. No, that's the right side. Yeah, that's the right side. I don't know what I was showing you before, but there we go. It's huge. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I think this one's my favorite. The color. Oh, anyway. This was started in January and it was finished April 1st, but I'm counting it in my March numbers because I want my March numbers to look better. So you'll get that update in a little bit during stash. I can't stop staring at it. I just can't stop staring at it. I've had it hanging over my spinning wheel for a couple days, and I think it might live there for a while. We'll see. So yeah, I talked about the pattern. I talked about the yarn. I gushed about how much I love it. The clues, I put on my Ravelry page, I put a close-up of each of the clues, as well as some overall pictures. I'm hoping either later today or tomorrow to get some pictures of me wearing it. So we will see if somebody in my family is willing to help me out with that, or if I have to do it myself. But there we are. What else? That is it for finished objects. Let's move on to works in progress. I haven't had much on the go knitting time this week, but I have been working a little bit on my blue cadet socks. So that orange marker is where I was last time. So, you know, just a centimeter or so. Oh, and now this is tangled in my microphone cord. There we go. So I'm doing 2 at a time socks. This is Patton's Croy socks in the cadet colors, hence why I'm calling them my blue cadet socks. And yeah, I'm just plugging away at those. I got a long way before I even get to the heel. Most likely I will be doing an OMG heel, which is a pattern by Megan Williams. And I'm gonna tuck all this away again and zip it up so it's ready next time I go out in the car somewhere. And then I have another pair of socks, which you haven't seen for a long time. Speaking of Nancy Wheeler, which I was talking about in What Are You Wearing? I cast on a pattern of hers a while ago for a knit along that she was hosting. And I did the cuffs and I did a couple rows of the pattern repeat. And then I just stopped working on them. I think because my brain space knitting time, where I have more focus time, in the evening while we're watching TV or on the weekends, was taken up with my Choose Your Own Adventure shawl that this wasn't easy roundy knitting. So I just kind of put them down. Anyway, they're back now and I've made some significant progress. Look at those. So pretty. Blowing out a little bit. Hopefully they're quite dark and moody in person. They're not, that's more accurate to the color, but I want you to see the pattern. It's so pretty. She makes amazing patterns. So this is, should tell you about it. This is the Hexie Diamond Socks by Nancy Wheeler, and I will link to my project down below. And so you can see that Hexie pattern a little bit. And the yarn is Cascade Heritage Paints in the color 9926, but it's just a very dark red. Looks lovely. And we will see how many repeats I do of that. It is a bit of a cable stitch. I am doing the without a cable needle version of it. And now I zipped my yarn in. There we go. And it's working out okay. Because it's just a 1/1 cable and one of them is a slip stitch, I'm getting my groove. I did notice that I worked on it for quite a bit last night because we watched Critical Role on Thursday night, and I noticed, you know, when I went to bed, I was like, oh, my hand is a little stiff because I think I've been gripping the needles a little hard to kind of do the different maneuver to do the cables without a cable needle, but I think it's working out good. And since I cast off a project, I cast on a new project. This blob of fluffy goodness is my new cast on. This is Getting Warmer, which is a cowl by Espace Tricot. It was free at one point, but it is no longer a free pattern. But luckily, I have all my free patterns downloaded if they have a PDF. So I had this in my library already. The yarn that I'm using is Loops and Thread brushed, which is a discontinued yarn, but I have a few balls of it. So this is the midnight blue color, and it is sparkly. It is sparkly and purple and this really, really dark blue, navy, and it's lovely. This is going to be a gift for somebody. I'm not quite sure who yet. We'll see. But yeah, it's a cowl, but it also kind of can go over your shoulders a little bit. The ribbing is quite stretchy on the bottom. And I did a nice loose cast on, so it's got quite a bit of stretch, but not so loose that it's like wibbly wobbly. Yeah, and I'm at the kind of second section where you start doing decreases, hence all the stitch markers, because I don't want to lose track of what I'm doing. But yeah, it's turning out pretty. This is going to be a nice quick knit, and I'm quite enjoying working with this yarn again. So, and it is super floofy, and I love it. So that was, yeah, I talked about the pattern, I talked about the yarn, and that is end of works in progress, and we'll move on to stash. All right, for stash this week, I'm going to be talking about my tracking of my yarn for March. I've got my handy dandy book here that I keep everything in. For March, I did a yarn swap, so I do have some yarn that came in. Thank you, Susanna. It is all lovely. But I do have 2,048 meters that came into my stash. However, going out of my stash, I had the swap yarn that I sent to Susanna. The Musselburgh that I just showed you, the pumpkin bankhead hat, which was the baby-sized one, and my Choose Your Own Adventure shawl, which added up to 2,942. So that's pretty good, you know, in the right direction for this year, for my goals for this year. And overall, for the year to date, including to the end of March, I have 3,154 meters. Out is 4,906 meters. So that is a difference of 1,752 out. So a negative balance, which is what I was hoping for this year. That is all I have for stash updates this week, as I have been very good and purchased 0 yarn. However, I may have more yarn coming in at some point in the future because I have a gift card to Fangirl Fibers. So definitely going to purchase something with that. Let's move on to chatter. First up for chatter, we're going to talk about books. I have finished the last in the Footman Club series that I was reading. This is called The Duke is Back, and it is by Valerie Bowman. And again, I have enjoyed these books thoroughly. They are a fun fluff read, nothing too serious in them, a little bit of romance, a little bit of, you know, hilarity, that kind of thing. And I have enjoyed it thoroughly. And now I've got a couple other books in the hopper again, as usual. I have a library book and I'm waiting on a couple library books. And then I always have a book on Kobo Plus that is ready to be read. So we'll have to see what I get up to for next week on the book front. Also, this past week was Easter, so we took advantage of the extra day off. Well, I had an extra day off. The rest of my family had 2 extra days off. So on Friday, we went for a little hike with some friends, and it was actually pretty decent weather, like perfect hiking weather. It wasn't sunny, it wasn't too hot, it wasn't too cold, it wasn't muddy at all, which I was kind of half expecting it to be. So I will put some pictures and some video, thanks to my lovely husband, who took most of this footage from that particular walk because I was too busy chatting with my friend. And then it was Easter weekend. We had a pretty chill time, did some stuff around the house. We've kind of started spring cleaning and all of that kind of stuff. And yeah, I forgot to turn the ringer off on my watch. So now I have dings in here. Sorry. Easter is what we were talking about. we had a pretty chill time. We had dinner with family, and Taylor still wanted an Easter basket, and Cooper made a very cute treasure hunt for her to find her Easter basket. It was lots of fun, and nice that I didn't have to do much for it this year. We've been spring cleaning out cupboards, getting rid of some stuff, redoing a couple rooms, and yeah, just kind of general tidying up of the house. As you can see, I've still got stuff to put away. My lovely backdrop today is these bags of stuff, and you know, just working away at it. That's all I have for this week, and I will include some fun footage from things that have happened to us this week, and that's about all I got. So we'll see you guys next time. Bye.